Gen Zers can't afford to work. Home equity loans are on the rise. And TikTok's founder's wealth. Today, I read an interesting article on Yahoo Finance put out by Fortune and written by Oriana Rosa Royal, titled, "Unemployed Gen Zers are having to turn down work because they can't afford the commute and uniform," report shows. The author of this article said Gen Zers are being forced to turn down jobs that they interviewed for because of the costs associated with starting a new job. This is according to a study of more than 2,000 16 to 25-year-olds in the UK. They may not have the money to pay for a uniform or work-appropriate clothes, or they may not have the money to travel to work. Here are my thoughts. I have personally seen this. A friend of mine started a new job after being unemployed for a while. He went out and almost maxed out his credit card buying work-appropriate clothes for the type of job he had attained, which was uniquely different than his previous job. Another friend of mine couldn't believe how much was involved with getting onboarded for his new job, and he also commented about how expensive it was to get everything he needed. Now, this is all going to vary depending on what type of work you are doing. Some companies provide uniforms free of charge. Some employers provide all of the tools and equipment that you will need. But this isn't the case everywhere. Ask an auto mechanic how much he or she had to spend to get all of the tools that were needed. Some mechanics are still in debt with Snap-on. Getting back to the article, 1 in 10 Gen Zers had to turn down a job because of the costs to get started. Now, there was some other interesting information shared in this article. 60% of women worry about the soaring cost of living, and they feel it will keep them from achieving financial security. Half of women feel they won't make enough to support a family. 45% of young men have the same concerns. Well, my friends, this is really sad. I am sure this is the reality for many people. I don't see this getting better anytime soon. This has to be really hard for people without family support. Some people are on their own after high school and for the rest of their life. Now, I read some of the comments beneath this article. I'll share some of them with you. The first commenter said, "No single narrative can capture this generation. However, I think there are two groups. The first and most problematic group includes those who are chronically addicted to their cell phones. This negatively affects all aspects of the thing we call work. The second group, although they might have escaped outright addiction, now want the career to happen on time frames of days or months rather than years. Sadly, I don't see how this generation makes the transition to something more healthy." The next commenter said, "I raked leaves, cut lawns, shoveled snow, washed cars, all sorts of things from 9 years old. I saved and saved, walked and rode my bicycle I saved for, bought a used car at 17, and got a job and continue to do all of the things I mentioned above on the side. This generation is lazy. Unless something gets handed to them, they do not leave the house. But they can sure have a $1,000 cell phone. Oh, and the anxiety and depression disorders, most cases are self-inflicted. I don't see this situation getting better by whining." Now, the last comment that I'll share with you came from someone who said, "If I was a small business owner today that needed these young kids, and you had one or two that you felt sincerely wanted to work, I would lend them the money to be able to dress appropriately and make it to the job. If they don't stay, then you can dock their final pay. Sure, you run the risk that one might take the money and run immediately, but you can usually tell when someone really is interested or not." Well, my friends, these commenters always have interesting things to say. What do you think about all this? Share your thoughts in the comment section below. I read another interesting article today. This one was on CNBC.com, written by Diana Olick, titled, "Real Estate More Homeowners Just Started Pulling Cash Out of Their Properties. Here's Why." According to the author, mortgage holders withdrew $48 billion worth of home equity in the third quarter of this year. This is the largest volume in the 2 years since the Federal Reserve started hiking interest rates. Here are my thoughts. I'm not surprised to hear about this. Life is getting expensive, and unsecured credit is expensive in our current interest rate environment. Fortunately, a lot of people have home equity they can tap instead. Some may be in a situation where their wages haven't kept pace with inflation and they are struggling financially. They are using their home equity like an ATM machine. This may work in the short term, but eventually kicking the can down the road doesn't work anymore. But what do I know? I'm just some guy on YouTube. What do you think? Share your thoughts in the comment section below. I read another interesting article today. This one was on CNN Business, written by Simone McCarthy, titled, "TikTok's founder is now China's richest person, but the country's total number of billionaires has shrunk." According to the author, China has a new richest person, and it's the entrepreneur behind the wildly popular and controversial app TikTok. His wealth has reached $49.3 billion. Here are my thoughts. Who would have thought an app that shows short videos would become so popular and generate so much money? I guess this appeals to short attention spans in today's world. When I taught public school decades ago, I thought some young people had short attention spans then. I think it has gotten worse. I have to wonder if apps like TikTok with these short videos train the brain to get accustomed to short bursts of information. I also have to wonder if this impacts people from being able to concentrate on tasks that involve more time and attention. I've never looked into it, but I could see it being a problem for some humans. Now here's some bad news about the restaurant industry. I read this on CNN Business, titled, "TGI Fridays files for bankruptcy." According to the author, TGI Fridays filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy. Apparently, the company has secured financing, so all of the restaurants will operate as usual while it navigates the bankruptcy process. The author went on to say, TGI Fridays has stopped the clock on payments of this month's rent, so landlords and other vendors can give them breathing room to restructure. Here are my thoughts. I have to wonder what the long-term plan is here. Will they be able to emerge from bankruptcy and be profitable in the future? Will they have to start closing locations? Will there be unsecured creditors who get impacted? These are all questions that I don't have answers to. Only time will tell. I wish them the best as they navigate this difficult time. I haven't been to TGI Fridays in years. I have no idea what their food or service is like these days. If you have been there recently, tell us about it in the comment section below. If you enjoyed this video, consider subscribing to the channel. I want to extend a special thanks to everyone who has subscribed to this channel. I want to also thank all of my channel members. If you would like to become a channel member, there is a link in the description beneath this video. You can read more about the different membership levels. Please also check out some of the great books that I suggest you consider reading in the description below. I've included Amazon affiliate links to these books. As an Amazon associate, I earn from qualifying purchases. Stay healthy and wealthy. I'll see everyone in the next video.